Hi, my name is Joseph Alai. Welcome to my channel. And today I want to talk about a technique that allows you to fully and completely saturate your mind with the imaginal act easily and effortlessly so that you can get your manifestation fast and accurately. This is helpful for people who have a hard time concentrating on imagining. And with manifestation, it is absolutely critical to be fully identified with the imaginal act if you want to manifest your end result. So I want to give you the technique. I want to explain to you why it is absolutely critical if you want to, in a very definite and systematic way, achieve your manifestations, meaning ultimately manifesting your entire life the way that you want it. And then once you implement this technique, you will begin to see extreme results. When I utilize this technique, which is ultimately something I just thought of because I was having trouble concentrating when I was going through a difficult time. And once I implemented this, the results came so quickly and effectively, it changed my life forever, and it will do the same thing for you. So it is absolutely important to understand the concept of manifestation. When we impress our subconscious mind with an imaginal act, it will be expressed on the screen of space. Expressed on the screen of space is another word for meaning manifested. Manifested means to take form or to be pushed out. So when we imagine a thing, we imagine it as if we already have it. That is the first step into creating the reality the exact way that you want. Once you've defined a scene that you want to imagine, you have to then identify fully with that scene, which in other words means imagining as if there's nothing else in the world except for the thing that you're imagining. When you do this, you impress an image on your subconscious mind in the likeness of that imaginal act. And from there, it will be replicated on the screen of space, which means the exact thing that you imagine will be pushed out on the screen of space. It's the replicating factor of the subconscious mind that is most critical to getting exact results when it comes to achieving your desires. The subconscious mind is kind of like a film, like in a camera. It takes an impression of the image, and then once you push it out, it is as clear and accurate as the impression on the film. So in other words, the degree to which you can accurately picture the image that you want to experience is the degree to which you experience it exactly like you imagined it. So I say all that to say this. It does not matter what you imagine. If you want to manifest money, if you want to manifest a partner, if you want to manifest health or a peaceful state of mind or happiness or fix mental health or do any of these things for another person, your entire goal is to conjure a scene that would imply that that is already true, and then fully immerse yourself in it. Identify with it as if nothing else exists. Now, one of the problems with doing that is for some individuals, including myself at times, it is difficult to stay focused on the imaginal act. Sometimes the mind wanders, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it's easy, but ultimately, the key to getting exact results is to fully immerse yourself in that. There's a verse in scripture which says, "Let not the double-minded man think he can get anything from the Lord," which ultimately means let not the person who cannot focus on one specific thing think that he'll manifest anything. Those are synonymous examples, synonymous phrases there, quotes. So then comes the point of the technique that we can utilize very simply, very easily in order to achieve your goals. Now, there's a technique that Buddhist monks use in order to fully clear their mind. Now, In scripture, it says that when we enter into the closet and shut the door, the Father that hears us in secret will reward us openly. But what this actually means is when we shut off all the senses and we fully identify with the imaginal act, that will be rewarded openly. That will be manifested. And the Father is another word for our consciousness. It's another word for our imagination. So one of the techniques that's used by monks when they're beginning or when they are starting to learn how to quiet their mind is they're given a mantra. And a mantra is a phrase that they repeat over and over and over and over. Now, this sounds very similar to an affirmation, but I don't want to get the meaning confused or your understanding of the word affirmation confused with what I'm talking about. Oftentimes, an affirmation is a phrase that you repeat in your mind that you're attempting to manifest outward, which works. But what I'm talking about as far as a mantra, there's a very specific purpose. The objective to clearing your mind entirely, or that is the objective, is to clear your mind entirely. And that's what Neville Goddard talks about with shutting off the senses. It's to have nothing entering into your mind. Now, if you asked me, can I do that easily? The answer would be absolutely not. And if I asked you, if you sat down, how difficult would it be to clear your mind? I mean, what would you say? Most people say it's almost impossible unless you've been practicing meditation for a very long time. So this is where the mantra comes in. It is a cheat code. It is a shortcut to being able to clear your mind in the way that is necessary for an exact manifestation. And the reason is that although if I asked you to shut off the senses and close your eyes and clear your mind, you would probably have a lot of thoughts racing around. You would probably have to battle with your mind to try to consistently stop it from thinking, and which is a very common thing. That's most people in this modern world, unless you're a monk. But what the mantra does is instead of giving you the directive of just clearing your mind, which is almost impossible for people, it's to repeat a singular phrase. And that singular phrase, what it does is, and the reason it's a cheat code or a shortcut to clearing your mind is because it allows you, instead of focusing on nothing, which then your mind scatters all over the place, the objective is to focus on one single thing. So in other words, the mantra, so this reality, our modern thinking, the mind goes all over the place. You know, even if I asked you to imagine, your mind might be scattered all over the place. But with the mantra, you trade all over the place with one thing. So you trade everything, your thoughts, your sensations, your feelings, your moods, your ideas, what you have to do tomorrow, what you missed today, the thing that you're angry about, the thing that you want the most. That's all going through the mind. That's everything. You trade everything for one thing. So instead of the multitude of thoughts, ideas, attitudes, the battling of trying to center and hold your mind in one place, which is, like I said, very difficult to do, you trade all of that. It could be thousands of thoughts that are entering in and out of your mind. You trade all of that for one singular thing, the mantra. And so instead of freaking out, being anxious, trying to clear your mind and getting, half good manifestations, you get so close to having your mind cleared. You get so close, one thing away from having your mind cleared. Now, that is not absolutely perfect, right? It is not having your mind completely clear, but that is not what manifestation is having yourself completely clear. So in other words, if you repeated a phrase like, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, right? So if I asked you right now just to think of yourself wealthy or imagine yourself wealthy, your mind might go all over the place. But when you say, I am wealthy, and focus completely on that one thing, abandoning everything else, then you're clearing out your mind, but you're also only identifying with that one specific thing. So the key here is that you choose a phrase which implies your end that's very simple. It's very simple. You don't want it to be complex because you don't want to have to think about, oh, what was it? How do I get that phrasing properly again? It has to be extremely simple, a couple of words, and you want to be able to easily memorize it so that that becomes the mantra. Now, again, I want to clarify, an affirmation is more of on the fly, just repeating things in your mind as you're going, around. But the mantra is that one specific thing that you're trading everything for, that one thing, which is absolutely critical for getting an identical manifestation to the thing that you're repeating. So the whole key here is when you're imagining, meaning in this case, it's a mantra, you're repeating this mantra with the sole purpose of only focusing on that mantra. But instead of an arbitrary phrase, which is often used in Buddhism, you choose one phrase which implies your end result. And you sit there, whether it's before you go to bed, similar to the lullaby method, or when you're calm and sitting down and relaxed, you just repeat this phrase in your mind over and over and over with the objective of trading this world for that one phrase. And in doing so, you entirely identify with that phrase to the point to which there's nothing else in your mind. And when you do that, your subconscious mind gets a very clear image of the thing that you want to manifest. It will take that thing and it will be a complete idea, a complete picture, the only picture in your mind. And in doing that, you impress the subconscious mind exactly. And then what follows is your exact manifestation. So once you do this, and you may have to practice a little bit, but it is much simpler to do this than to try to clear your mind in order to imagine the exact thing. But you do it, you repeat it over and over and over again. You impress the subconscious mind, and then the thing that follows, the bridge of incidents, will lead you exactly to where you want to go, with no question, with no fear, with no doubt. It is as if that is the singular target that you're magnetically drawn to by means of almost like fate. So that in and of itself, without an imaginal act, will get you to where you want to go. That phrase itself, the mantra that you choose, which indicates the end as if you already have it. I am rich. I am married to this person. I have this. I look like this. I feel like this. Or a friend. You name them specifically and say, they are this, they are that, they have this, they have that. That will give you an exact manifestation. Now, you can take this a step further. Mantras are very specific and accurate when it comes to manifestation because it stems from words, and words are very specific. There's a dictionary in He Who Manifests for Us, right? The power, the God within you. There's a dictionary of everything, every meaning of everything that ever existed. And so you don't have to worry about not being understood when you're saying it. But there is ambiguity, in phrasing, which you will ultimately, sometimes, if the phrasing is not specific enough, you could get something that's not specific as it relates to your manifestation. So you can compound this with an imaginal act, meaning repeating the mantra of the end, but also then imagining the end as well, meaning having a lot of money, or being in the Lamborghini, or being with the person that you love, or looking a specific way. And so you would repeat the phrase over and over and over again until it saturated your mind entirely, until there's only one thing you're thinking of, and it's that phrase. And then after that, you imagine the end. You imagine yourself with the money. You imagine yourself married, etc. And this compounds the effect. It enters you into the closet and shuts the door entirely. And the Father, which is your consciousness, only sees the thing that you're identifying with and therefore pushes it out into reality. So this will work for you if you have trouble imagining. This will work for you if you don't. This is a shortcut, a cheat code to focusing and identifying with the imaginal act, which is the number one criteria to actually impressing your subconscious mind. So I hope this was helpful for you. This was very helpful to me. This will work for you as it worked for me. It changed my entire life. If you like this, subscribe, bell icon, stay tuned for more. And there's also a workshop on Friday, which is the Everyone Is You Pushed Out workshop. Absolutely critical if you want to understand the concept of how your thoughts get pushed out into reality and how to utilize it. The fundamental essence in a broken down, data-driven way. So if you're interested in that, definitely click the VIP link in the description for that so that I can see you in the live workshop on Zoom on Friday or Sunday, whichever you choose. So thank you. Stay tuned for more.